friends, it's the Fly Foot Doctor. I'm a foot doctor and surgeon podiatrist out here in Houston, Texas. And here on my channel, I talk about all things foot and ankle. We talk about symptoms, home remedies, and things that you should look out for if you're having foot issues. If you're new here, welcome. I'd love for you to join the tribe. But why don't you watch this video yet to make your final decision and see if I can convince you to stay. Today, we're going to be talking about the most common foot problems and some of the things that we can do to avoid it, especially in the summer months. If that's something that interests you, let's go. For a lot of us, summertime is time for fun, time to be outside, playing with our families, hanging with our families, and all of that good fun stuff. But it's also the time that we as foot doctors see a lot of foot problems. And that's because we're not wearing our covered shoes anymore. We're wearing our flat, cute sandals. I know I do, because I want to show it off. I want to show my pretty pedicure. I want to feel the sand in my toes when I'm at the beach. You know, you want to feel the grass if you're in a backyard or barbecue and things like that. But we don't want to let these foot problems get in the way. So let's break down all the summer things, well, not all, but the most common summer foot problems that we see and how we can get into it. The most common, number one, is swollen foot and ankles. So swollen feet and ankle. It's the summer month, so our body temperature gets warmer and our vessels dilate. It's trying to give off all of this heat. But with dilation comes increased blood flow, especially to our extremities. Gravity is not our friend in these situations. And so our feet, our legs, our ankles are swollen. Well, how do we prevent this? By keeping cool. It's easy to say when I'm sitting in a cool office with not a lot of heat that's touching me, but if you can keep cool as much as possible, that will be awesome. Also, drinking lots and lots of cool water, or even just water in general. The hotter it is, the more our water intake should be, and that'll help to cool us down, help things flow, and try to prevent our blood flow from being stationary. And speaking of stationary, it's walking, moving a lot. That's something that'll help us move the blood flow, so it's not just stuck in our foot and ankles with swelling and discomfort. We're pushing it back up to our heart, and it helps. So those are the three things that we can do to prevent it. Well, if it's already swollen, what can you do? Well, one of the most common things that you can do is a compression socks. Try to wear compression socks if you know you're going to be on your foot a lot. That'll help to prevent the swelling in your foot and your legs. Also, try to prop up and elevate your foot and ankles as much as possible. When you're noticing that it's starting to swell, take a moment. It's okay. Whatever you're doing, it's still going to be there in 5 to 10 minutes. Just relax in a cool place, elevate your foot, make sure that it's up, and then it'll go down and the swelling will go down after a while. Massage. This is the time to get your significant other, all those little kids, to come massage your foot. You want to do the massage. It'll help push the fluid back up to the upper extremities, your kidneys, so you can pee it out, essentially moving all of that swelling. Then the last thing that you can do is also soak your foot, your ankle, and your legs in some cool water. Now, I won't say ice water, only because there may be some patients that have diabetes or blood flow issues, and I don't want you to do it in ice water. Now, if you're healthy, no comorbidities, and you're an athlete and everything's working super duper perfect for you, hey, go ahead and do ice water. That'll give you quick reduction in that swelling in your foot and your ankle. So that is one of my tips that I have for one of the top foot problems in the summer: swollen ankles and feet. My summer foot problem number 2 is cracked heels. Again, it's the summertime. We're wearing shoes that are exposing more of the skin of our foot. Backless shoes, sandals, slippers, stilettos, things like that. All of them so awesome, so lovely. But remember, there's increased heat, and so with increased heat is increased evaporation of fluid from our skin. Now, cracked heels are okay. No, not really. Cracked heels are painless is what I really mean to say. Usually, however, the deeper they start to break into the deeper layers of our skin. When they break into the deeper layers, then that can become painful. And I'm sure some of you may have felt this. If you've had a cracked heel that hurt, leave it down below. Leave a comment down below and say, me too, because I know I've had some of them when I was younger, living in a very cold climate. And so while cracked heels that are superficials don't really hurt as much, when they get worse, they can cut deep and they can be very painful. And this could also open up the way for fungus to get in there. Now, how do you prevent it? Making sure that you moisturize. Some of my top favorite moisturizers are CeraVe, Lubriderm, Eucerin, heck, Aquaphor, and even Vaseline. All of these are absolutely amazing at putting moisture into the foot, and some of them that I've mentioned, also ammonium lactate, they also kind of form a coating and try to prevent moisture loss from the foot. So these are things that you have to do every single day. And if you are prone to cracked heels, twice a day for you, buddy. All right, the next one is also exfoliating. So exfoliation is removing the dead skin. I would definitely advise you to get a pumice stone. Get a pumice stone and just exfoliate the crud out of that thing, honey. Okay, once a week. Just make sure you set an alarm if you have to. Make it your Sunday routine or something. Exfoliate as much as possible. It removes that dead skin so that when you put the moisturizer in, it's not just laying on the top of the skin. It's actually getting deep into the layers that absolutely need it. And last but not least, I know I love to wear those sandals, but if you're gonna be wearing them, make sure that you're not standing out on hard surfaces as much as possible. And if you can wear sandals that have nice cushion, wear them. If you're prone to cracked heels, opening it up and exposing it to the weather elements makes it worse. And I know it's hard to hear that.
Because the sandals are so cute.
But I mean, we gotta figure it out. Cracked heels or cute sandals. Now, if you do the first two, you may continue to wear your sandals that exposes your heel. So pick your poison, buddy. Now, treating it is similar to preventing it. Now, if you already have it, again, you know, soaking your foot and exfoliating is absolutely paramount. You want to make sure you exfoliate the top layers of it and it removes the dead skin, and then moisturize. When you're looking for a moisturizer, I like creams over lotions, especially for the feet, because creams are thicker and it's a 50% water to fat ratio as opposed to the higher water content of lotions. You want to make sure that you're looking for creams that have salicylic acid in them, that have urea in them, or alpha hydroxy acid in them. Those really help to increase the moisture in the foot. And if all of those don't work, definitely see a foot doctor, podiatrist like myself, and I'll help you take care of it as soon as we can. Summer foot problem number 3, athlete's foot. Now, athlete's foot is everywhere. Like I like to say, if you're a patient of mine, just comment down below and say, I've heard the same. You will always hear me say, fungus is among us. Corny, I know, it is very corny. But I love it because it's the absolute truth. It's not what you did, it's not what she did, what he did, what they did. Fungus is just everywhere. It's among us, okay? And so it's very common. And in the summertime, if you remember, I just talked about the cracked heels. When you have exposed skin, it tends to get in there. Another thing that causes it to be a very common summer problem is the moisture in our foot. Now, fungus likes wet, dark, and warm areas. So if you're wearing covered shoes excessively, and perhaps you sweat and increase moisture in your foot, your shoes are dark, your body temperature is warm, it's warm outside, and you're sweating up a storm, hey, look, it's just a perfect recipe for the fun guys, another corny one, the fun guy, which is just the fungus, plural of fungus, the fun guys, to have a little party in your foot, okay? So let's talk about how we can prevent this summer. So, like I said, fungus loves warm, dark, and wet areas. We're in the pool, we're playing in the slides, we're playing on the sprinklers. I mean, it's a fun summertime. Can't take that away from you, but this is what you can do. Make sure that after you've gotten your foot wet, you dry it as much as possible, and then moisturize. So you don't just want to leave it dry, you want to moisturize, but you want to dry, especially between your toes, because fluid can get locked in there, and again, the fun guys will come out to play. Another thing, if you're going to the pool, after the pool, make sure that you're not walking barefoot all around, because everybody else is walking barefoot. They're bringing in their little gunk to their fun guys to the party, and it's just a perfect place for you to pick up fungus. So try not to go barefoot. Wear your water shoes if you can. That prevents you from having direct contact to the surfaces of the floor, where you can pick up not only fungus, but warts, and I see that all the time, especially in the summer. So make sure that you're wearing shoes and not going barefoot if you can. Again, it's the summertime, so it is hot. So with that comes increased sweating, especially if you're a little sweater. So if you're sweating, your socks are wet, you want to make sure that you're changing your socks as much as possible. So if you're a sweating person, make sure that you have an extra pair of socks that you can switch out in the middle of the day. If you're a factory worker or you're wearing steel-toed boots or things like that, switch out your socks as much as possible. That'll help help to keep your foot dry and prevent the fungus among us. Also, alternating your shoes. So if you wear one shoe today, switch it out to the next shoe tomorrow, and vice versa. And while that's being switched out, make sure you open it up as much as possible. Open up the tongue of the shoe, let it dry, because again, you don't want that fungus to sit in there and just marinate and cook and build its residence and build a basement and the top floor and its luxury compound. No. We need that out. We need it out of there. So we need to expose it to light. We need to expose it to air. We need to expose it to this hot ass sun we have here. So make sure that you open it up as much as possible. What are the treatment options? Essentially the same as the prevention. Now, if there is an established fungus, there are lots of over-the-counter medications that you should use. You can also use the foot powders over the counter, the shoe sprays. All of that will help to kill the fungus. Now, some fungus or fungi are very, very tough to treat, and sometimes you need to see a podiatrist, a foot doctor like me, to help you, give you or prescribe some prescription strength medication. If you'd like to visit me personally, you can visit our website, DeNielFootAndAnkleCenter.com, or give us a call 832-415-1790. However, most of the over-the-counter medications should help, and if you follow some of the prevention tips, those should also help. Summer foot problem number 4, foot pain. Again, being in the summertime, a lot of patients or people are out barefoot or wearing barely any shoes or flip-flops and things like that. And if you have foot problems, mobility issues and things like that, you could worsen the symptoms that you're having. And that's why it's absolutely important that you wear supportive shoes in the summertime. If you're not out playing or out swimming, but if you're gonna be walking for an extended period of time, taking a hike, going shopping and things like that, wear a supportive shoe. You don't wanna beat up your summer in time for the fall and the winter, and then you have to deal with it later. And I get it, you want to have fun, but keep it a short burst. I like to wear high heels, like I say, but if you're wearing it, make sure you have a comfortable shoe that you can switch out to. If you're going hiking, make sure you're wearing comfortable, supportive shoes. Sometimes you may even need a supportive, custom-made insert in your shoe that'll really help you. Not some of the over-counter stuff, but some of those over-counter stuff actually do help. But sometimes you have to really figure out what works for your foot and use that appropriately. Supportive shoes will help reduce foot pain. Summer foot problem number 5, sunburnt feet. Now, we know everyone's been talking about sunscreen now, and yes, it is very important, and no, they don't cause cancer. Who came up with that idea? Who said, I think sunscreens cause cancer? It doesn't matter how much sunscreen you put, some sun ray is still getting to you, so you're still gonna get your vitamin D, but it's not gonna cause cancer. So let's get that out of our minds. So now that we've established that sunscreen is important for you, I have another question for you. Do you apply sunscreen on your feet? Answer down below. I would like to know. Say, yes, I apply sunscreen on my feet, or no, I do not apply sunscreen on my feet. No shame. No, hey, look, no shame, okay? Sometimes I forget to. Yeah, I know, I forget it too. But a lot of the times I wear covered shoes, but sometimes even in sandals, I forget to. Yeah, but if you are having plans of being a foot model or maybe selling feet pictures on OnlyFans, do what you want to do, okay? If you want to sell feet pictures on OnlyFans, do what you have to do. But if you're going to be doing that, you want to make sure your feet are not looking like old women feet like mine, okay? So you need to apply your sunscreen on your foot and your ankle. Any exposed part of your body does need to have sunscreen. I'll tell you what happened. Recently, I always used to say I have old woman hands because my hands are just really not. Let's just say I will not be a hand model anytime soon. And I realized my hands are always on my steering wheel like this. The sun is directly on my hand all the time. Even though I apply sunscreen everywhere, I really never applied sunscreen on my hands. And I realized, what am I doing? My hands look a different color, a different texture like the rest of my body. And I only recently started applying sunscreen on the back of my hands. So now I'm gonna start with sunscreen and moisturizer and hyaluronic acid, and we'll see if that gets things better. But that is just to say how important sunscreen is to our foot and our ankles. If not, we could actually get a sunburn. And what are some of the symptoms of a sunburn? Red hot, prickly, stinging, tissue. Oh my gosh, if you've ever had a sunburn, please tell us your experience down below. Like, sunburns are no joke. It is not pretty, not cute, and oh Lord, it can be very, very painful, okay? So those are some of the symptoms. And how do you prevent it? Apply your sunscreen on your foot and your ankles at least a teaspoonful, or you apply the length of your index finger twice. You know, it's kind of better than the face because you're not worried about the sticky white residue showing or anything like that. And even if it's kind of shiny, it's your foot and your ankle. At least you're not gonna be ashy out here in these streets, okay? Unlike the face, when you apply your sunscreen and it's all shiny and then you have to apply makeup over it. That's the most crazy thing that I've had to watch tons of YouTube videos to figure out how to do. But the foot and the ankle and the legs, you don't have to worry about that. So go ahead and slather on that sunscreen before you head out. And make sure that you're reapplying it every 2 hours. If you're exposed out on the beach, or if you're out by the pool, or if you're wearing a little cute mini skirt or shorts, anything that is exposing your legs, foot and ankle, you're making sure that you are wearing it. Another thing is sunburn in the bottom of your foot. So make sure the pavement gets hot. I mean, in Texas, it's been like over 100. So you don't want to go out walking barefoot. So it's not a direct sunburn to the bottom of your feet, but I mean, these pavements can fry eggs, okay? They are so hot. So don't walk barefoot when it's super hot out there, okay? Wear slippers, protect the bottom of your feet, because it'll really hurt and it forms blisters if you have a burn, okay? Now, if you do have a burn, one of the things that you could do is ice the area as soon as possible. Apply soothing lotion in the area of the burn to help moisturize it. Ice compress could kind of help cool the areas, making sure that you're wearing a supportive shoe afterwards. If you form a blister, make sure that you cover it with sterile gauze. You can get sterile gauze from the drugstore. Make sure you cover it and apply a topical antibiotic and see a podiatrist, foot doctor like me as soon as possible. All right. We talked about a lot today, but we hit most of the common summer foot problems that we have. So tell me which one that you may have encountered already. I'd like to know down below. And which one of these things that we've talked about are you going to start doing? Again, I'd like to know below. If you're new here and you stayed till the end, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. You know, it's hard to get people to watch the entire video, but you did, and I am so grateful, so honored, and so thankful. And if you enjoyed it and would like to see more, would you consider subscribing? So hit the subscribe button below if you decide that you will want to hang around. Also, if you like this video, click down below and share this video with your friends, family, cousins, co-workers, even the person that you hate, the neighbor that's always throwing trash across your fence. I hope they don't do that. But just share it because it'll really help everybody, because it's the summertime. So please do me the honors and share this video with everybody. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on other platforms, it's the Fly for Doctor. It's the same name here as well as on other channels. Till next time, we'll see you later. Peace out.